Sports Talk.
That really shows what happened.
If you came to groove, there's no reason to prove.
RTF Sports Talk. RTF Sports Talk. RTF Sports Talk. RTF Sports Talk.
And now you've got yourself something funky.
RTF Sports Talk. RTF Sports Talk. RTF Sports Talk. RTF Sports Talk. RTF Sports Talk.
And welcome to RTF Sports Talk. I am the host of the show here, Michael Buckheiser, joined with my co-host, Billy Hatton. Billy, how are you doing today, bud?
Doing all right. Mike, stretch all that stuff I said yesterday about it being not cold in El Paso. Guess what? Just got cold again.
It is cold. Well, I just left beautiful Kansas City, and Sunday it's supposed to be a high of 7 degrees, a low of 6. So that is cold, my friend. That is crazy cold.
That is definitely cold that I would never like to experience.
Right.
Thank you.
Like that
Thank
cold.
you for ruining that experience.
That type of cold is the cold that will rip through your body, crush your heart, and like just leave it in glass shards all over the floor. That's
what I do not need.
Yeah, because you already have a cold enough heart, right?
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
Well, Billy, let's get into the show here. College basketball is definitely starting to get in a big swing of things, and Saturday there are a couple big games. You have UK versus Auburn, 14 versus 12 matchup here. But the other matchup that is most intriguing to both of us, I think, is you have number 1 Duke taking on number 4 Virginia. Give me a little preview of this game. Who do you have winning, and like why?
I got Duke winning, and I think it's very simple. I just think Duke is still the better team, even without Trey Jones. R.J. Barrett is still there. He's averaging 2 and 3 points a game. Zion Wilson is still there, and we're at Cameron Indoor. That's a tough place to play. The Cameron Crazies are live. One day before I die, Mike, I'm going to go to a game at Cameron Indoor. I want to do everything. I want to stay out there for 10 hours tailgating, how everybody be tailgating. But in all seriousness, this is going to be a good game. West Virginia is undefeated for a reason. And in the preseason, when we picked our Final Four, Virginia was in my Final Four.
Right. For
this very same reason, because they're not to be played with. They play tough defense. They're not going to really have any one person that's going to stand out. Always a team effort, but they're playing at Coach K court.
Right.
I don't see them coming in there and winning it, and I'm looking for them to have one blemish when they leave Cameron Indoor Stadium tomorrow.
Well, and
on Saturday. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like, and I see everything that you're saying, and like I actually had Duke winning this game before I saw them dismantle Virginia Tech, or when Virginia dismantled Virginia Tech. They beat them, but I believe the score was 84-58. So what's that? 34 points or whatever it is. So with that being said, I think Duke is really going to struggle with the loss of Jones for, he could be back next week or 12 weeks. They don't know how long he is going to be back, and that point guard, the leader of the team, and I feel Trey Jones is what makes Duke right now. Yes, I know they have Zion. Yes, I know they have Barrett and that other, the name slipped in my mind, but that's Junior.
Reddish.
Yeah. But Trey Jones was kind of like the glue that held everything together, I think. And I think this first full game, like without them, and a big game like Virginia with this smothering defense, it is going to take Duke time to figure it out. And with Virginia finally starting to find their offense with that stellar defense that they had, I think this is just a recipe for disaster at the end of the day. But if they were to play, I think they played twice this year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
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 So definitely the next time when they play again, Duke will be ready and they'll beat them. And I think if they had Trey Jones, they would beat them this time as well. But without Trey Jones, the first game without Trey Jones, a big game. Give me Virginia, unfortunately.
I get your point. I see all that, but I don't foresee Duke having another night how they had the other night against Syracuse. Their 2 losses, I mean, it really just took unbelievable performances by both teams, Gonzaga and Syracuse. And if you look at the common denominator of both of these losses, Duke and Gonzaga, Syracuse and Gonzaga, it was the 3-point shooting.
Right.
You know, the other night against Syracuse, they shot 21% from 3. 9 of 43, I believe it was, 9 of 40 something. That's not going to get it done. And I don't foresee them shooting that bad every single night. And Barrett in that game, I think, still had about 30 points in that Syracuse game, and he didn't really have a good night shooting. So, in order for Virginia to win this game, of course, they're going to have to play stifling defense like that Virginia Cavalier team can do, but they're also going to have to put up some points. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do it, be able to put up enough points to win this game. Now, Virginia is a good team, don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's not impossible. It's not like they can't do it.
But
I just think they will be motivated. People are talking. There's hype now about Zion need to just sit out and wait for the number 1 pick. Trey Jones is out. They're going to want to come out. They're going to want to respond, and I think they respond big coming off of a loss.
That's a great point.
Moving on, we got Boogie. Boogie is set to make his season debut on Friday. Is this a big deal? Little deal? No deal?
You know, the only way I can say it is a big deal is because he is starting for the first time since I think it's been almost a full year since he has been out. So there was going to be buzz around him for this first game. There would be a lot of buzz around that like Warriors Clippers game, but after this game, after this week, I don't really see it being a big deal. He is just another piece to a puzzle to the hated Golden State team. And like this just makes him that much better, I think. So we are all expecting him to come into this team and fit really well and basically be that piece that they need to, be that 80-win team again, or how many games they won that season, 71 team. So I think the only way it will be a big deal is if he struggles, if he, misses a bunch of open shots, if he, misses a wide open dunk, then I think it would be a big deal. But other than that, it's kind of just another game in these dog days of the NBA, and we're trying to get a little bit of buzz.
I'm gonna go on the opposite side, and I'm gonna say it is a big deal. For him to be ready right now before the All-Star break, I mean, I guess you can credit his work ethic, credit the Pelicans and the Warriors training staff of getting him ready. So I'm gonna say it's a big deal. I mean, this is the fifth piece to the puzzle. When this guy was rumored to be signing with the Golden State Warriors, he's got the basketball world or the sports world in general into a frenzy. And I'm interested to see how this thing is going to work with all 5 of them on the court, because I'm pretty sure at one point all 5 of them will be on the court. I'm not sure if he's supposed to start. I'm pretty sure he'll probably come off the bench. So at one time or another, he's going to be in the game with KD, Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and that'll be interesting to see how much of a juggernaut this team really is. And although it'd be the first game, we're going to do what we do as sports analysts, sports fans, and that's try to analyze every single thing, because that's what we do in this day and age. So I think it's a big deal, and I think it's a big deal going forward because we still haven't hit the trade deadline yet.
Right.
And what if the Warriors think that Boogie is not compatible with their team? Will they try to move Boogie?
That's a good point.
So
that's a real good point.
I'm interested to see how they gel, and it should be fun. We already expected them to win without Boogie, so of course they don't need him to win. But it's just going to be interesting to see how they utilize him with the other weapons they have.
So before we move to the next topic, you brought up a very good point there. I did not think about them possibly trying to move him before the All-Star break or before the trade deadline. That's a very good point. So as a sports fan that wants Golden State to lose, I guess, just because I'm tired of them winning like all the time and being in the finals, I kind of hope Boogie Cousins struggles like a little bit, just because I do think that he is the missing piece to that championship run for them this season. They have shown that they have struggled throughout the season, just a tad bit with like injuries and maybe the lack of a center. So if Boogie Cousins struggles these first three or four weeks, I think the All-Star breaks in February, if I'm not mistaken. So if he struggles and they move him, I think that is good for the sports world.
Where would be a good destination before we move on? What would be a good destination that you think would be good for Boogie? Let's say he comes out and he's Boogie, but the Warriors just think, oh man, he's not really, he's messing up the chemistry. Nothing to him. He just
doesn't fit. Right.
Just too many people.
So I really think he would fit on a team. I don't think Golden State would like trade him anywhere on the West. He would have to go east. But maybe
I don't even think they would care.
You don't think so? Like if you put, well, because
they don't need him. So they're already going to win the title. They already know that they're better than everybody else. They already know that we're the favorite to win the title. As long as we got KD and Steph still playing, I don't see anybody that's going to beat us. I don't think they care where he goes because nobody in the West that's good enough to be a contender, that have enough pieces to beat them, they don't really I don't think they have those teams don't have the cap space, and the teams that got all the money, they don't have enough pieces.
True.
So regardless, the Warriors is, strength in numbers, as they like to say.
Yeah, like if there wasn't a factor of like cash, I think he would fit great in like Houston. Houston did shoot 73 threes this past night and only made like 23 of them. So like if you have somebody like Cousins in there, being able to clean up that mess and get some easy baskets, I think he would fit well there in Houston. All right, so
I don't really
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I was going to move on to the next topic.
Go ahead.
All right, so moving on to the next topic here, we're going to emphasize this new little game here called Buy or Sell. Basically, we're going to pick some guys here, and we're going to either buy them for the weekend or sell them. And this will be the NFL playoff edition here. So we're going to start with Billy Hatton, since he is my awesome co-host. Billy Hatton, NFL quarterbacks. Which one are you going to buy? Which one are you going to sell?
I'm going to buy. This is tough, Mike, because there's so many good quarterbacks left. But I'm going to buy Patrick Mahomes. I think he's going to have his way against that Patriots defense. And I know this is going to be blasphemy, but I'm gonna sell Drew Brees, even at home. The offense just hasn't looked great, and the Rams defense have a potential to be great. Good pass rushers, good secondary on the back end. So I'm a buy Patrick Mahomes, sell Drew Brees.
So the key word you said there is potential of a great defense, and if they show up, they're great. If they don't, they're horrible. So I'm going to buy Tom Brady just because we saw it last week. Tom Brady in January is a force to be. You really can't bet against the guy because as soon as you count him out, he puts up 45 points and, throws for 300 some odd yards. So I'm buying Tom Brady. I'm going to sell Jared Goff simply because I don't trust him. They are going to. I think they will keep the ball on the ground and basically take the ball out of his hands because they don't trust him either. So I'm buying Tom Brady, selling Goff simply for the reason because I don't think they trust him in the end.
That's why I didn't sell Goff, because I didn't think he would probably put in a lot of positions to fail. So I didn't sell him because I also think he can have a big day. The Saints secondary is not good either.
True.
They've been up and down. So for me, to your point, they're not going to use him that much,
right?
Especially if that ground game is going. So yeah, that's the one reason I didn't pick Goff.
Yeah, and I think if you're playing FanDuel, any quarterback you get this week will be very good. So moving on to the wide receivers, Bailey, who do you want to buy and who do you want to sell?
I'm going to sell. I mean, he hasn't been guarded all year. So for me, I think the easy take is I'm going to buy Michael Thomas. There's something about him. I'm also going to sell Tyreek Hill because Bill Belichick's defenses in the second in the postseason is always much different than the secondary defense that you're going to see in the regular season. So I'm selling Tyreek Hill, putting all my stock in Michael Thomas.
So I definitely hear what you're saying. I do think the Patriots will take out either Tyreek Hill or Kelsey out of the game, but Michael Thomas is the question here. I'm going to sell Michael Thomas because I don't think it matters who the Rams put on him. They could put Peters on him or they could put Talib on him. I think they are going to lock him down, and then and then Breeze is going to go to those other receivers that he has. I'm going to buy the Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman. I think he is the unspoken hero of that team. He had a really big game last week versus the Chargers. And he is kind of that X factor because when he clicks, I think the rest of the team clicks. So they're definitely going to get him involved early and often. Moving on to the tight ends, Billy. Buy a tight end, sell a tight end.
I'm going to buy Gronk. I think Gronk is going to have a good game against this secondary and this linebacker core for the Chiefs. And I'm going to sell. I don't think that, because I just don't believe. I want to believe the Patriots defense is that good. I just don't think they're going to be able to get to Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. So I'm gonna go. I don't even know the Rams starting tight end.
Let me look for you here, because I was actually going to pick him as well. I'm searching for his name. Give me a second. I got you.
Because do they have Higbee? Is Higbee their starting tight end?
They have.
I think it's.
They have
Tyler
Everett.
Higbee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it is. I believe Everett is a starting tight end if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Everett and Higbee.
Yeah.
Rams tight end core. The whole tight end core.
Okay. That's a great answer because they don't have that one guy. It's kind of like a tight end of committee, kind of like
by committee. Yeah.
It is kind of what the Colts did. Like they had that Ebron and then the Hill guy
and Mo Alice Cox.
Yeah. So I'm going to sell the Patriots tight end. I just think he is just out there to basically pull the safety over to him. I think he caught maybe one or two passes like this past week, was only thrown to twice as well. So with that being said, he has been a been a safety net for Tom Brady for so long, and for Tom Brady to only go to him twice in a big game. I mean, yes, they were blowing out the Chargers as well, but for him early to only go to him once, that kind of raises a red flag to me. And he's been hurt pretty much all season. So I'm selling Gronk, and I'm going to buy Travis Kelce for the Chiefs because they are either going to try to take away Tyreek Hill or take away Kelce. And I think the Patriots want to take away the deep threat. They want the Chiefs to dink and dunk underneath. And so I think Travis Kelce is going to have a big game just for that fact. Moving on to the tailbacks, Billy. Buy a tailback, sell a tailback. Who do you got?
I'm gonna buy C.J. Anderson. Can I just do both? Can I buy C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley,
sure.
both of them?
Why not?
I'm just gonna. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna buy Rams running back, C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley, and I'm gonna sell Sony Michel. I think what the Patriots are going to want to do is come out and control the clock, do the same thing that they did last week. We're going to keep this high-powered offense off the field. We're going to run a lot of play clock. We're going to hope that every time we get the ball, we have a 6, 7, 8 minute drive. Keep Patrick Mahomes sitting on the bench,
exactly.
Cold over there, not moving. So I'm going to sell Sony Michel because I don't think he'll be able to get it done, and I'm going to buy stock in the Rams running backs.
So I'm going to take a page out of your playbook there. I am going to buy the Rams backfield after watching C.J. Anderson last week. I'm like, man, this guy still has it left in the tank, and I think he has it just enough for like one more game here, and then that. So you go from that pounding to that slasher and speed guy with Todd. So I'm buying the Rams backfield, and I'm going to sell the Kansas City backfield, unfortunately. Yes, I know they haven't lost a step after they've lost Hunt, but the Patriots, I think there are three keys to that game. It'll be the deep threat, the pounding game, and then the dink and dunk. And I think the Patriots want to take away the passing game, 10 plus yards, and they want to keep the ball out of their tailbacks' hands, out of the Chiefs' tailbacks' hands. So, and I think they will be successful at that. So, selling the Chiefs backfield and buying the Rams backfield. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, Billy. Here, this is the final buy or sell. Buy a defense, sell a defense. Who do you got?
I'm going to buy the Chiefs defense. I think they can get after the passer. I think in a game like this, whether it's going to be cold, guys aren't going to be able to move around as fast. The running backs are really at a disadvantage, and I know they say, well, if it's inclement weather for one person, it's inclement weather for another person. Well, that's true, but only in the case where running backs are having to cut, they're having to move, and that plays right into the strength of a defense when you can't do that. So I'm gonna buy the Chiefs. I'm gonna sell the Rams defense. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get it done consistently. Now, I told Drew Brees earlier, but 1 or 2 touchdowns with a few interceptions could still be a good game for Drew, or these TDs could just be daggers, as we've seen in the Sunday night against the Eagles, where they were down 14-0. And Drew Brees had one less incompletion or one less interception than he had completions. And look how they turned that thing around just with a few plays, because Drew didn't play well. So I'm going to buy the Chiefs defense, sell the Rams.
And I am right there alongside you there. I think the cold is going to really have a big factor on that Chiefs defense, because that is the strength of their team is they have a pass. Their front four is very, very fast, very, very strong. And if it's going to be 6 degrees outside, I don't care. You are a tailback. You are a quarterback. You get popped once or twice hard in that cold. You don't want it anymore. Trust me. It is nasty and it hurts. And being on that defensive side of the ball is a very advantage for you in that way. And I'm selling the Rams because they have opportunity to be great, but they haven't shown it since since the Chiefs game. Just like to be honest, back in week 9 I think it was, they really have not been a very good defense, and I don't think they can do well against the Saints. So that's why I'm selling them.
So we're gonna move on from the buy or sell edition. Hope you guys like that segment. That was actually fun, Mike. We're gonna bring something new, a little more flash on the show. But we had big news in college football yesterday, man. I mean, we're talking about just Florida State alone. I know they're not going to talk about them, but just Florida State alone had 3 transfers yesterday.
Yep.
It was, guys were transferring all over. And biggest news really was Jalen Hurts and Tate Martell. Obviously, those guys have been in the transfer portal for a few days now, a week or so. Jalen Hurts decided he's going to play college football in Lincoln at the University of Oklahoma. Tate Martell at University of Miami. Who you think has the biggest impact?
So I truly think Hurt will have the biggest impact because he has played in large games. He has played in a system like Alabama, and he will fit, I think, almost perfect into that Oklahoma offense. They've had 2 Heisman Trophy winners back to back, and why not make it 3? Because if I'm not mistaken, Hurt is a college. He graduated college in January, so he can jump in and play directly this year. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, please. So
yes, he'll be able to play immediately.
Yeah, so he has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove to Alabama, hey, yeah, I know 2 is good, but I am the real deal. Hurt is going to go into Oklahoma and light up that Big 12 defense, if you want to call it that. And there is probably another potential Heisman Trophy winner coming out of Oklahoma for the 3rd straight year. The reason why I think Martell to Miami isn't a big deal is because he really hasn't played yet. He has been he redshirted his first year. He sat as a backup this past year, and so he doesn't have that playing experience. So and he can't play next year either because he is transferring. Although he is trying to put in a hard times waiver or something like that. So basically, he is trying to get out of sitting out a year because of the hard times with the coaching change or something to that effect. So I really think Hurt is going to be the real deal at Oklahoma. He fits into that offense perfectly. He is going to be able to put up 40-plus touchdowns versus the Big 12 awful defense and, throw for 4,500 yards.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Jalen Hurts have the better year. And he's working with Lincoln Riley, a guy who's really going to put him in the best situations where he does not have to fail. And to your point, Tate Martell, I've been telling all my friends this on Facebook, the ones that is Miami fans, what are you excited for? Do you even know how this guy plays? Is he even good? So, why would I get excited about a guy who really got ran up out of town? And I guess you could say the same thing about Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts lost his spot in a championship game where a guy came in and had probably the only game that he could have in order to sit down a quarterback that was 26-2 as a starter.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think Jalen Hurts is the better quarterback. Tate Martell may be the real deal, but as we currently speak right now, Jalen Hurts is 26-2 as a starter. Came into the SEC championship game down a touchdown, won that game. So, yeah, and you asking me, he's being paired with the guy that coached the last 2 Heisman Trophy winners, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. Yeah, give me Hurts.
So, I don't want to speculate anything, But the college football playoff, they are licking their chops right now. Let's be honest. So they've had Clemson versus Alabama the last 3 or 4 years, but now I think they want Oklahoma versus Alabama. So
Oh yeah, it's always narratives.
yeah, so be prepared for
Tua
it.
versus Kyler. Tua versus Jalen.
Exactly.
Oh man, imagine that.
Yeah. So basically, look for a Big 12 Oklahoma bias this upcoming season, like along with the SEC Bama. So I really feel like here are your 1 and 2 seeds for next year college football. If neither team stumbles throughout the year, which I really
just don't think
anticipate.
Clemson. I don't think Clemson stumble, and I think they're going to go into the season as number 1. I think they're going to leave the season as number 1. So their best bet is to try to get them at 2 and 3.
Yeah, true.
Alabama, Oklahoma at 2 and 3. I just don't see Clemson losing next year.
Or that 2 and 4 seeds, so they get them in the championship game. But
Yeah.
that is what it is. So, guys, that is the show for today. It is just Billy and myself moving forward here. We are trying to give you guys, just some new looks here. Starting Monday, we're going to have a visual effect for you guys on the YouTube channel. So if you guys are not subscribed to the RTF Sports Talk YouTube page, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to that page we will be live there with a visual effect for you guys. My beautiful face and Billy's beautiful face will be live on the TV screens. But as always, we will also for you guys have the podcast as well right after the show. So on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, etc. So be sure to follow those podcasts as well, but also subscribe to the channel as well if you like to see a visual effect. Billy, any last thoughts?
Go Nose and Willa Taggart, do something, please. Do something, please.
All right, guys. With that being
Anything.
okay, with that being said, we're out, guys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, Friday, same time. NFL Pick'ems.
Go